Good morning. It is Thursday, November 27th, 2025, Thanksgiving Day. I'm standing on Brighton Beach Boulevard, just below Scenic Highway 61, continuing with the Monitors project of visiting all the parks in the city from smallest to largest. We started at park number 162, and we have now worked our way up to park number 14. At 107.69 acres, it is Kitchi Gammi Park. Also known as Brighton Beach. A few people out here this morning. Saw half a dozen or so walking around. Most of them had dogs. Brighton Beach was established in 1922, and as with a lot of things, it had a connection to Chester Congdon as the city. Well, Chester Congdon was instrumental in getting the Scenic Highway built up the shore, and he also thought that this area would be a good place for a tourist stop. So this was established in 1922. The city originally purchased the land in 1896 when the Lakewood Pump House was built to supply the city's water. And that pump house still exists and is still being used up the shore ways there. And this area, Brighton Beach, was originally used as a tourist campground. They had cabins. I saw pictures, quite a lot of cabins, and they rented those out for 50 cents per night per car. And apparently they were very popular. Park Superintendent Frederick Rodney Payne started calling this Kitchi Gammi. Oh, a little icy here. Started calling this Kitchi Gammi Park in 1926 without explanation. So now it's the park with two names. It's always Kitchi Gammi, also known as Brighton Beach. This whole park has undergone a recent refurbishment. In 2019, a major storm. The road used to be much closer to the edge there, and a major storm took out parts of the road and took out parts of the park. They had a major rebuild project with the road. You could see new restrooms there, new pavilions, new playgrounds. And this all reopened in October of 2024. One thing I didn't realize until I did this project, looking on the map, this Brighton Beach actually extends a good way up the shore from where the road curves back to Scenic Highway 61. And then it goes up to about 77th Avenue East, almost a mile, and then leads directly into the Congdon Trust land, which is about another 4 miles of shoreline. So from that end of the park up to the northern end of the Congdon Trust land, there's about 5 miles of Lake Superior shoreline owned by the city. It's just this long, narrow finger of city-owned land extending from the boundaries. Looks a little unusual, but as I commented when we did the Congdon Trust land, it's very unusual that we have all this city-owned Lake Superior shoreline. I mean, I haven't done any research, but I'd guess it's probably the largest amount of Lake Superior shoreline owned by any city. And especially if you count add Park Point onto that, it's got to be. So we had our first snowfall a day and a half ago or so. I was just planning on strolling up the shore here a ways. See how that goes. I actually didn't realize this paved path. I thought it always ended at where the road goes back to Scenic 61, so I'll just take this up a ways. There is a parking area up here. That's probably where this goes. Let's see, did I say everything on my list? I think so, on my notes. I gotta switch hands here and pull on a glove. Hands are getting cold. Came out here to do this yesterday. Wanted to be like the first tracks in some of the snow, but the wind was whipping so hard. And that's a limiting factor for these videos. Wind whips across the mic, it's unpleasant to listen to, and you can't even hear what the person's saying, so I shelved it for the day. I'm not wearing full-blown winter gloves. I just have these uninsulated gardening gloves, which is kind of, these are what I mostly wear when I walk. I do carry regular gloves in case I need them, but generally these are good enough to keep my hands warm and still allow me to do a lot of things, a lot of mobility that you don't have with the winter glove. Pretty good sized waves rolling in down there. I'm gonna get down there eventually. Maybe I'll go to people here. Thanks, you too. I wonder where those tourist cabins were. I suppose they were right near where we started. I mean, I would imagine so. In 100 years, a lot of things can disappear in the woods. So all this up here is also part of Kitchi Gammi Park. It's just a thin belt of woods between the park and Scenic 61. Man, this ice is ridiculous. It keeps slipping and sliding. So by city ordinance, people have to keep their sidewalks in front of their houses shoveled. When I shovel mine right down to the pavement, a lot of times it ends up with this layer of ice like this. I live on a steep hill. Sometimes the meltwater comes down and freezes, and other times it just ends up like this, which is very treacherous. So sometimes I just leave snow, a little bit of some snow, like on the sidewalk. Against city ordinance, but it's more safe. It's easier to walk without wiping out. Oh, I thought this went to a parking area, but it appears that it just leads out to Scenic 61. Alright, well, I'll just cut through the woods here. We'll go down to the lake. This way, bushwhacking way. I'm going to get some wet feet here. The boots I'm using developed a nice split in them this morning. All my footwear is just falling apart these days. Time to re-up all of it. A cute little spruce. I was hoping for more cold weather before the snows came to help freeze up the waterways a little bit. That didn't happen. The colder weather came in with the snow. We'll see how it turns out. I still hope to do some ice walks this winter. The big lake isn't frozen at all yet. It takes a little more than one or two cold days to freeze the big lake. Well, here's a trail along the shore, looks like. People using. Grab a picture of that. Yeah, snow all over everything. It's not the easiest taking a picture with gloves on, but it is possible with these work gloves as opposed to winter gloves. It'd just not be possible. Digging in my pocket, getting out a camera, pressing a button. It'd be very difficult. Saw those people that I passed originally. I hope they're not thinking I'm following them or anything. They went down there, so I'll just keep on going here. Well-worn path here along the shore, which I have actually never walked. It's not a park I spend a lot of time in. Drive through it more than anything. It's a handy place to stop for a restroom break if you're in this area of town and you need a restroom. Let's get a picture here. Kind of a drop here. Not going down this way. Yeah, shoreline looks kind of impassable up ahead, like much of the North Shore shoreline. Snow all over everything. You can see like a large snow-covered roof up ahead there toward the base of that point. I think that's the Lakewood pump house. Not positive, but it almost have to be. There's a way down. A little treacherous, but well, I'm not going to try that either. May not even get down there. Slippery. Should we go down that way? I don't think so. Looks like it's going back up to the road here. This might be that parking area I was thinking of. Looks like the social trail just continues on here. I have a feeling Santa's going to be bringing me some new hiking boots this year. So I've been putting it off. Putting off buying them myself. Is this a way down? Looks kind of treacherous. Huh. It is a way down. And it is kind of treacherous. Man. Do I really need to go down there any further? I don't think so. Well, there you go. Yeah, I couldn't go much further anyway. Look at those cliffs dropping into the water. Park number 14. Kitchi Gammi Park. Thanks for watching.